Thank you very much. I'll come back to you on a question around building a strong foundation of trust, communication, and conflict resolution. But in the meantime, I'll indulge Mr. Ogundeko on how men can understand their role in society building, especially in the age of social media pandering. You want to use this?
Yes, so the role of men in society building cannot be overemphasized. It's very critical, very important. So, generally speaking, I think that, and Mr. George mentioned the other time that we cannot completely reduce pressure to zero. That is, we cannot completely become irresponsible, and say, oh no, there's too much societal pressure, and because of that, we just want to be laid back. So there is an expectation on every man. There is something you have to do. Actually, the Bible says that it starts from the family. A man that cannot provide for his household is worse than an infidel. He has denied the faith. So so there is an expectation. And from the beginning of creation, when God made man, he had told him, be fruitful, multiply, have dominion, subdue. And these are beyond the family now. So this is an expectation that God himself has for you. And this is part of the purpose that the reason why God has made man. So it's important for us to, knowing that, be responsible, be up and doing, and make sure that you are contributing something to the society. And they say you only be remembered by what you have done. So I think that there are those, like I used to have this conversation, I know that in every generation, there are those who, the demands of purpose, I believe, this is my personal opinion, the demands of purpose is heavier on them, and they probably will do, like in every generation, maybe you have one Albert Einstein, you have one maybe Nelson Mandela. I'm not going to be a Nelson Mandela. So maybe what I'm going to do is not going to be as big as a Nelson Mandela, but then there is something that everybody has to do. And that speaks to the fact that as we go back today, we are thinking, I have to be responsible in my community, for example, or my street, in my association, or in the locality where I find myself. What exactly am I doing? You cannot just be occupying space. When Jesus Christ, he was hungry, he wanted to take fruit from a tree. So because he had an expectation, but there was no fruit, and he was angry, and he cursed the tree because he encumbered the space. So I think that if you are not doing anything, like you are not creating value where you are just encumbering the space. And I think that in line with that story that I just mentioned, I think such person might be entitled to a curse.
Wow.
That's deep.
Thank you very much. Oh, no thanks. Right. You said you are unmarried, so this question is for you. Ideally, you should not be, but ironically, I'm going to send it your way. Now, there's a lot in social space around being a perfect partner. And this transcends, dating to, actual boyfriend, girlfriend age to about to get married. Like, this person is my fiancé. So, transactional, that is. It means there's some expectations that the partner, the female partner now, can hoist on the shoulder of this young man, including maybe school fees, buying phones and dresses and all of that. So, I think all four of us have left the dating scene. So you in the dating scene, how do you...
Not me though. I'm still dating. You're still dating
your wife, right? Right. So how do young men navigate the transactional aspects that has permeated social space in terms of relationships?
Expectation from the other gender.
Yes, to you. Paying for this, paying for that, buying this and buying that. You can't until you buy my date gown for me or make nails for me or XYZ, you can't go on a date with me. In fact, on the back of that, there's been a conversation in the social space for the past 2 weeks about a girl that says if you have 20 million naira, you can't speak to her. If you don't have 20 million, you can't speak to her. I've been training her for a good number of time.
Well, that's okay. I enjoy my silence anyway. If
say again.
If I can't speak to you, it's okay. I enjoy silence.
Beautiful, right? So I mean, some men don't know that, right? Some men think, as your partner, I'm supposed to show that your life responsibilities, and then some women just, dump all of that on them, and when they are not able to, they make them feel less of themselves, and they literally walk away.
So, men in the house, I want you to say after me, I am worthy of love. I can't hear you. I am worthy of love.
I am worthy of love.
I deserve better.
I deserve better.
I will not date rubbish.
Not date rubbish.
Because you are not an ATM. Okay? Say I'm not an ATM.
I'm not an ATM.
You are not an ATM. It's let me just tell you, personally, I think that if I ask you out and the first thing you mention is money, that's the end of the conversation. I will not just ghost you, I will block you.
That's on period.
I will block you with the minds.
As long as the lies within you.
I will block you in Jesus' name. I will block you seriously. Because in this economy where we work hard for our money and all of that, and then the first conversation, so anybody, in my opinion, that the first thing they say to you when you ask them out is money, it's a red flag already. Especially if you're not dating for fun, if you're dating because you're a serious person who wants to settle down.
Right.
Yes. You should not, you know that the way I think of marriage, and married people would tell me if I'm wrong or right, is I feel like we're at war in this world, right? And when you marry someone, you bring the person into your corner to fight with you against the world, whether it's spiritual battles, physical, whatever. Do you understand?
All right.
The person, you need to trust the person 100%.
The person's on your side.
You can't be married to someone who the first day you took her out, she said, how much do you have in your account? Do you understand? You can't trust that this person in your corner is there because she loves you, she has your back, she's praying for you. Do you understand? If you can't, I am even short of words. I am stuttering. I don't even stutter normally. If anybody is saying, for the avoidance of doubt, if anybody has told you that, I heard a story actually. Somebody said that he went to Ibadan. He was talking to another person, but I could overhear their conversation. They are Lagos people. They went to Ibadan for work. And after work hours, they decided to go to a club somewhere. And they said when they got there, they wanted to go to the VIP section, and some Yahoo boys, I don't know how they knew they were Yahoo boys, some Yahoo boys, the waitress told them, no, that place is reserved for some people. So they were angry, and they sat somewhere else. But then after some minutes, some, quote, Yahoo boys came in and sat there. And so they even got more annoyed that, is it Yahoo people that you kept the space for? That was the conversation. And then the guy that was telling the story now said, so that day we decided that we now spent 1 million naira on drinks. And in my head, I was saying, this is a very foolish conversation. In your anger, you've enriched the club. It doesn't affect the Yahoo boys. You've enriched the club. Some men are like that guy. They want to prove to this lady that I have the money. Shebi, you are saying that nobody can talk to you. They don't have 20 million. How much is money? You are wasting your time. You're just, that money, you better put it in some business. Go and meet these tech people. Let them talk to you about where you can invest your money in tech. Rather than give that money to someone because you want to prove your ego. You want to show that you have that money. Please, say I deserve love. Say it boldly now. I deserve love.
I deserve love.
And I will not date rubbish.
Thank you very much. I think you should give a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you.
While the opinion shared very important, we also need to ask the question, why is this person like this? Because if we don't know why a person is like that, you may not really understand them. And two things I can ascribe to this mentality of my relationship with you is transactional. You have to do this for me, for my cousin, for my aunt, for my little boy, and all of those things. It's because of entitlement. A lot of people go about with an entitlement mentality that is so high. They believe that whatever they do with you, they have to get a lot from you, right? Then number two reason why people, make such demands on people that they are in a relationship with is because they are very, very selfish. So look at people who are very selfish, people who think of themselves, people who consider themselves more and more often than any other person, whatever the situation may be. You want to be very careful with such people. It even already means that they are not the kind of person you should be dealing with if you really want to be in a marriage that will work. Because the marriage I know that I've been in for a number of years is a marriage where you put a lot on the table, not you take a lot.
Right.
So when a person is coming to the table with the mindset of, okay, what's on the table for me to pick? You already know that there's probably going to be a problem soon. So you don't want to go into a serious relationship with such people because they don't have the right mindset to make a relationship even graduate to the point of marriage.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. At this point, we'll take audience reactions, questions. Thank you, MC.
Don't worry, this conversation is continuous. We're going to continue on Twitter Space. Please follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Just follow us. It probably will be displayed so that I don't give you the wrong handles. So make sure you follow us. We're going to be having a lot of conversation online. This is just the beginning. It goes beyond there. So don't worry, we've got limited time because we're also considering your movement too. So we're going to be asking questions. If you have questions from the audience, maybe one or two, we can take one or two interactions. Then we expand. We can take it on Twitter Space. We can have a lot of discussion online. So can we come closer? Maybe you have to use my mic then. Quickly, just come so that they are here. They can listen to us. Then the bandmen, if I'm right, should get ready. After this conversation, we want to have the bandmen to minister to us.
Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Shola Emmanuel, and I really appreciate this session because actually what men want is real talk, and this is what we've just done this afternoon. So I have questions for the three panelists seated. So concerning health, I'm going to direct the question to Dr. Kenechukwu. So we're looking at health as a man. We're talking about healthy living, nutrition, getting sleep. Some of us work overnight. I'm an architect by training and profession, and sometimes I have to work late into the nights on deliveries, deadlines, and everything. And sometimes we don't even get the luxury of having an hobby or something to just. How do we balance that? How do we connect that together as a man? And towards building the whole man, my other question will be directed to Mr. Ibrahim Ogundekon. I can see you have a keen interest in family building, and also you've more like built financial stamina as a man. So concerning finances, investing as a man, sometimes we've had men go through stuff they've had to invest, and everything turned south. And some are still yet to recover from that. You hear regret stories from elderly people, and it's just about cash management as a man, dealing with debts. Most people are deep down in debts, and they don't seem to have a way to recover anytime soon. So as a man, I feel being a man is more than relationship. We want to talk about relationship and stuff like that. But this is what I want you to address. And also sometimes talk about savings as a man. As a man, do you really, you get to save, you get to invest in stuff like that. So, but I want clarity from you concerning that. And also to Mr. Sunday Anani, you're someone I've looked up to and I will continue to look up to. My name is Shola Emmanuel. And yes, my GC actually reached out to you concerning the corpus program happening next week, Tuesday, at a multipurpose hall. So, concerning mentorship, and you said something during your discussion. You talked about there's a philosophy I hold. If you don't see someone, or you've not seen someone do something, you don't get the courage to actually do it. So we have a Ronaldo because there was a Ronaldinho before. So in building and raising a family, most times we've had parents pass down wrong notions to their children. So how do we reorientate the mindset of the old man, and also envisioning the future as a male child Some people have, as a lady, you are going to your husband's house and something like that. But for men, we have a different ballgame. We are dealing with future and we are dealing with impacting the next generation. So how do we do that? Handling family and also being accountable as a man. Thank you.
All right, thank you. 3 questions. If you have 2 questions, ask one. You ask one online. It's only one we can take now. Do we take response or we take his question? So that we will not forget. Can we just respond quickly? So 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Thank you. First taker.
All right, so you were asking about savings on one hand. On the other hand, it's just financial responsibility, financial management. So when we were doing courtship in the church, I know for those who are members of Deeper Life, you know that there is some manuscript, some manual they give you, which, yes, some people cannot relate with it, yes, but I mean, I still remember very vividly that there are some, because they have topical issues. Actually, I want to say to you today, like, you know, there are people who are currently dating or relationship, courtship, whatever you call it. And they don't even know what should we be talking about. And like, you know, they sit down, they are just looking like there's nothing. There is so many things you got to talk about so that you don't go into this business of marriage, like, and then you are shocked. And one of the topics inside that manual is money management in the home. So we talk about it. For example, I have one Excel sheet. Again, don't forget I said like I can be very detailed. So I have this Excel sheet that I've been using to plan all my life. So I brought my wife into it. So you will see the whole picture. Now, see, you have to be frugal. That's being economical. For example, your salary is 100,000. You have a percentage of amount that don't tell me that your money is too small, you can save. You can save, it might just be 5,000 naira. So I'm just bringing the 2 questions together. You got to be able to save. If you're earning 100,000 and you don't know how to save, it means when you're earning 1 million, you most likely will not be able to save on one hand. So what are you saving for? The prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple passeth on and are punished. Evil days will come. We don't pray it comes for all of us. I mean, but evil days, we see economic instability, inflation, and so on and so forth. So what are you saving for? Number 1, you are married, it's just you and your wife. Oh, you are just flying about honeymoon, you are going everywhere, just eating everything, chicken and chips. Very soon, you're going to have a child. Cost of diaper, wipes, and all these things. Those people who have handled it or currently handling it is not beans. So sometimes you have to save towards that. Then when you have children, like go on, and people don't ask questions. You don't even know. It's like marriage is like a business. You want to get to a business, but you don't know the cost of. You know, if you want to do a business plan. If you go to business school and you want the teacher how to do a business plan, one of the things you do is you will have a cost estimate, budgeting. Like you have to be able to see what is the cost of running this business for at least 1 year or 2 years. So ask questions, research, and see what's the cost of running this marriage for the next 1 to 3 years. Now, how much is my salary? What job am I looking forward to have? When are we going to expecting to have a child, for example? Now, you save for your wife, save for your children, you're saving for yourself. For example, I run savings for everybody in the house. And I started when my salary was 63,000. I started saving for myself. So when I got married, I was not earning so much. I was saving for myself. And as it was increasing, I was increasing it. So, but you have to be disciplined. That's one way for you to maintain financial stability. One thing I want to also say is, there is a lot of billing happening this generation. And you understand what I mean by billing? Once people perceive you that you have small change, you know, you will receive calls and needs are everywhere, and don't allow anybody to blackmail you. So there's something I call float. I have float for every month. This is the maximum amount I want to do. These amounts for church. These amounts to help. So my planning, this amount to help people. This amount for family. once I exceeded, there's nothing you can do. You will run into problems when you try to keep helping people and you cannot take care of your own. Bible says you are worse than an infidel because you have denied the faith. Try to save 5,000, 2,000, continue saving. And then, when you save little, but I'm not advertising for mutual benefit. There's mutual benefit. There are a lot of them like that. They have plans. Save for your kids' future. You want your kids to go to very nice schools in the next 4-5 years. And some of these schools are very expensive. Save towards it. There are parents who send their children to school abroad, for example, or even to very expensive schools. Some of them are not earning millions. They are not earning a lot of dollars, but they have saved towards it. And some of these savings also, they have returns. Just 10 seconds. Please be careful of the kind of investment you do. And why some people make mistake and get into trouble is they like all these money multiplication schemes. You cannot say, how can you do business? Ideally, if you go to business school and they are teaching, like most business, maybe it will yield 10, 15, 20% generally. Sometimes some business can yield maybe 50%. But all those things that they keep telling you just come like magic. Put this one, you will earn that, and then you carry all the money for the whole family and go and invest in some. God will help us.
Thank you. Let's appreciate that quickly. Just like I'm on her neck, I'm on a panelist neck also. Maybe we might not answer her. We'll answer the remaining online too. Okay. So,
I will make mine really brief. Where is the gentleman?
Gentleman.
Okay, no, don't come out. I will just state some things. I would advise you to write them. And actually, anyone who is a professional in the hall should write it down. You say you're an architect. You're young. I don't think you're 30 yet. No, okay. Couple of things you should look out for. Because of the nature of your work, you are prone to something called cervical spondylosis because of how you bend.
Please, say it again, sir.
Don't worry about the name.
Okay. Something, cervical something.
Cervical something. Because of how you bend your head on your desk. So you want to invest in a good monitor. If you work on computers, invest in a good monitor so that your eye level is like this. If you do that, you will thank me when you're 60. Number one. Number two, you want to check your BP every 6 months. Okay? Don't say you're too young. It's never too young. I treated a guy with, what's it called? High blood sugar the other day. And I think he was 30. So that brings me to my number 3. You also want to check your blood sugar, maybe 6 monthly. Just go into a pharmacy, say you want to check your blood sugar. Especially if you have a father or a mother who is diabetic or who was diabetic or who died suddenly, you didn't know the cause. Oftentimes it's one of those, it's diabetes, hypertension, they just didn't know, right? So you want to check your blood sugar at least 6 monthly. Then when you sit down for 30 minutes doing whatever architectural thing you're doing, you want to set a timer such that after 30 minutes you stand up for 5 minutes and you move around. If you don't do that, you will have a problem with your lower back by the time you're 50. Okay? So you want to set a timer, 30 minutes, 5 minutes break, 30 minutes, 5 minutes break. Okay, that's all I can remember.
Thank you, doctor. Our relationship counselor, please.
Yeah, there's no time. So let me just answer the first question only about parenting, reorienting the men of today. I was raised by a parent whose parenting style I'm not using today. So if you see your parents doing something or they pass something to you and you know that this is not the future you want for yourself, it's simple, just cut it off and look for a model, somebody that is doing it well. Read about them. What did they do? And the kind of people you should choose are people whose presence you want as a future, right? So ask yourself, what did they do? How did they come about it? What processes did they put into it? I have a mentor, for instance, and I learned from him a lot. I listen to his messages. I attend his trainings, paid and free ones. And these things have helped me a lot. And that is gradually moving me to where I would say, wow, this is the kind of, marital life I want. Even at the moment, I'm enjoying this really well. So look for people who are living the kind of life you want to live in the nearest future. What did they do? Do what they did. It's a straight line. By God's grace, you find yourself in that place too. Thank you.
Thank you. Your question quickly. Probably the last question for the day. Online.
Yeah, good day, sir. Thank you very much for this opportunity. So my question is I'll try to put it well for more understanding, but I just want like clarity and also perceptions on this. So there's something like a stereotype for men concerning getting married. So maybe like a particular age, from this age you have to start knowing maybe the right person for you or the like. So, but at the same time, there are some personal plans that comes in. So, and at the verge of you having that personal plan, you come across people that maybe you call leaders and the likes, and they have to tell you that, okay, at this point, based on what you're doing, based on the influence and the kind of thing you have been going through and the exposure you've been getting, meeting people, they kind of let you know that at this point you have to start thinking about marriage or thinking about the right person. So, and you yourself, you have someone like, you have a personal plan that you are sticking to, that no, until I'm this, until I'm that, I don't want to go towards that part of marriage or even having anyone in mind yet. So is it like, what do you have to say? Is it like, should a person stick to that personal plan, or stick to the stereotype of he's already this age, so you have to start praying to God or start looking for someone to date or something? So I just want clarity.
Thank you.
Don't lie. Do you have somebody in mind? Okay.
Mr. George, did you catch that?
I did. Let me know if you can hear me clearly.
All right, please. You
Can you hear me? Please indicate if you can hear me so I can continue.
Can hear you clearly, actually.
All right, great. So, one, there's stereotype, all right, and that's clear. There's also wisdom. If you get honey, I think that's one of the reasons why you should get married. Scripture tells us, all right. You get to a point where you know that I think I can't handle this person anymore, right? And you want to make the move. All right, so it's important to understand what your plans are, how it also ties into your marital responsibility. Please ignore societal pressure, right? But it's also not just societal pressure, it's also wisdom, right? Through age, through time. There's a point you come in your life where you need to get married, right? It makes sense, right? It makes sense statistically, historically, biologically, right, to make this move at this particular time. When you complete with your plan and you think you still want to get married, I mean, do what pleases you. No one is going to force you into it, right? But people call your attention to it, are calling you to responsibility, are calling you to making this move at a point where it's still your prime age, as it were, right? To make that move. Personally, maybe I wish I got married earlier, right? Because it saves you from lots of pressure, lots of mistakes, and all that. So it's important that you take it with all wisdom, consider your personal plans, how it fits into it, and make the right move. First, and also you're in control of your life. Do what you like, really. Just do what you like, right? But make sure you're making the right choices.
Okay, thank you very much. Understand your personal plan and stick to that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've done a wonderful thing in this panel session. Can you appreciate them, from the panel moderator to the panelists?